Hey guys, Joe here, back to the Word today with a short book review of this work right here, O Come, Emmanuel, a Liturgy for Daily Worship from Advent to Epiphany by Jonathan Gibson, published by Crossway Books. This book came out in 2023. And I wanted to hold my review coming out until 2024 as we get ready for the Christmas Advent season. If you're watching this later, this is still an excellent resource worth picking up from Jonathan Gibson and Crossway Books. So let's hop into this short review together. First up, who is this liturgy, daily liturgy, 40 days for? This is for anyone who wants really help focusing on the meaning of Christmas, wants to bring some life and vitality to their personal time with God leading up to Christmas and through Epiphany, really around January 6th. Jonathan Gibson, the author of this volume, during COVID really noticed his time with the Lord was anemic. It was light. It wasn't filled with robust theology. And so he put together a personal liturgy that he would go through every month. And it became Be Thou My Vision from Crossway Books. And then he sequentially came out with O Sacred Head Now Wounded for Easter. And also O Come, Emmanuel for Christmas time. More on that at the end of the video. Second, who wrote it? I already mentioned his name multiple times, but it was written by Jonathan Gibson, or composed and put together by Jonathan Gibson. He has a doctorate, PhD from the University of Cambridge, and he's an ordained minister in the International Presbyterian Church in the United Kingdom, and associate professor of Old Testament at Westminster Theological Seminary. He's written multiple books with Crossway, as well as been a co-author of multiple books as well. He's married to his wife Jackie, and they have 4 children. Number 3, what stands out about this 40-day journey around the Advent Christmas season specifically? So first, a beautiful and customizable resource. So it's beautifully printed. I have right here the Westminster exclusive cowhide leather edition. This is sold out. You cannot get this, but you can get the hardback cloth overboard edition from Westminster Books, from Crossway, and it's an amazing volume and worth picking up even if you don't get the leather, which is now sold out. But it's also customizable. You can choose which elements of the daily liturgy you do. You can even do some of them with your family, and you can customize how you do that. You don't have to do everything. If you do it all, they suggest it takes about 15 to 20 minutes, but you can trim some things, or you can add some things, do some with your family, do some personal. It's really up to you with the way they have provided this resource. There's also 3 ribbon markers. I think that's really cool. You can do one for where you are in the daily liturgy. One is the appendix for the tunes that go with the hymns, the psalms, the Glory Patri, the types of things that are in the daily liturgies. And then there's one also that you can put in the Bible reading plan if you're following along with their suggested Bible reading plan for the 40 days. Next up, this is a 40-day liturgy for worship from Advent to Epiphany. That's what is in here, a 40-day journey. Let's break down those segments. So first, liturgy. That's just an order of service or ministry. As a Baptist, lots of Baptists are kind of allergic to using the term liturgy because it becomes something that you just go through the motions. There's not really actually belief, passion behind it, real genuine faith. It's just words. But we shouldn't be so allergic to the term of liturgy. It just simply means an order of service, or specifically an order of ministry. Your church has one, even if it does not use the term. So this is just different elements to help you focus on God and his work and the coming of his son Jesus Christ the first time as you're working through this 40-day journey. Second, the span is from Advent to Epiphany. I'll talk about that segment and how they line that up a little bit later in this video. And then last, the content of each day. They talk through this on page 33. And some are longer days than others, but they start out with a meditation. There's 40 meditations from church history. Then it moves to a call to worship. There's 40 scripture readings. Adoration, you can say or sing a certain praise to God. Then there's a reading from the law, a confession of sin, an assurance of pardon reading. And then there's a section of a creed, the Apostles' Creed, the Nicene Creed, the Athanasian Creed, the Apostles' Creed, and some different segments there. Then there's a praise song, so sing or say this praise to God. Then there's a catechism reading specifically around from the Heidelberg or Westminster Shorter related to the coming or the advent, the coming of Jesus Christ, and usually includes 1 or 2 questions. Then there's a prayer for illumination. Then there's a scripture reading if you choose to follow their reading plan. Then there's a praise, so say or sing this praise to God. Then they have the different ones laid out. A prayer of intercession, the Lord's Prayer, and then a benediction at the end is followed by a postlude, in closing, say or sing this praise to God. And they have a doxology and some different things written out there. So excellent volume, time right there for the short review. I want to cover 2 more things before I end this video that I think are really going to be helpful if you choose to pick up this and other related resources from Jonathan Gibson. So first up, when to start this resource. So I already mentioned it, that this resource runs from Advent, which talks about the coming of Jesus Christ, focused on his first coming, and leads up to December 25th in the United States and with most Christian traditions, and then also goes through Epiphany. So Advent can start between November 27th and December 3rd. So specifically, this book starts its readings on November 28th. Personally, when I did this, I started just on November 28th. Even if Advent, the first Sunday of Advent, started it keeps you on track so that you're always on the day that you're reading. So if you start on the 28th, even if it's not the first day of Advent, you'll be on track when you hit December 25th. If you choose to do the other way and just start on the first day of Advent, you may be plus or minus a little bit, because Advent changes every year and can be between November 27th and December 3rd. So then you move up through Christmas, Christmas Eve, so and so. After Christmas, there's 12 days of Christmas, so you count them out, and then there's a celebration of Epiphany, which is when this ends on January 6th. Now that might not exactly land for your year when you're reading it, but January 6th Epiphany is a celebration for, I have it right down here, Epiphany or Three Saints Day. I have a video I did on my channel on the church calendar where I get more into these details, but it's a celebration 12 days after Christmas by most churches. There are some Orthodox churches that celebrate it a different time, but it's a Christian feast day, and it's a special day when they celebrate the arrival or the visit from the Magi, as well as Jesus's baptism and the wedding of Canaan, or the feast of wedding of Canaan. All 3 of those things, the coming of the Magi, the baptism of Jesus, and the wedding at Canaan where he turns the water into wine, Jesus reveals who he is, or who he is revealed in a greater way. So the Magi come and worship him as king. Jesus is baptized. God says, "Behold my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased." And the disciples and the people around him understand he is the Son of God, that he's a powerful miracle worker from God at the wedding at Canaan. So I do more of this, talk about Epiphany, Advent, the church calendar in my video on my channel on the church calendar. So I'll link that in the description below. But that's the span of time. So be it you follow the numbers in here, which may not exactly line up with the first day of Advent for your calendar year and the day of Epiphany, you'll be very close. Excellent readings in here. Last up, I want to talk about the trilogy. I already pulled them up. I have all the special leather editions from Westminster Theological Seminary, or Westminster, or WTSBooks. The bookstore associated with Westminster Theological Seminary, because Jonathan Gibson works there. Crossway did limited edition leather covers. So that's what I've got. But the first one is Be Thou My Vision. This is 31 or so days for each calendar month. The super helpful resource. I actually don't have a review up on my channel yet for this, so as soon as I do, I'll try to link it in the description below. I can't believe I didn't do one except for the fact that I bought this instead of the publisher sending it to me for review, which is probably why I didn't get around to doing a video. But excellent resource here. It's been really helpful. You can use that throughout the year if you so choose. And then this was a really good one. I got a review up on my channel already of this one, so you can check that out in the description below. But O Sacred Head Now Wounded, a liturgy for daily worship from Pascha to Pentecost. And so this one came out in 2024. And then put it in the slipcase here. And you got O Come, Emmanuel came out in the fall of 2023. So all three of them have cloth overboard treatments from Crossway in these slipcases, which are excellent. I have the leather special editions, but you can get them in the hardback wherever books are sold. And I would encourage you to pick them up. In a world where we have lots of daily devotional resources that are fluff, not deep, these have helped me personally focus on the Lord, and I'm excited to recommend them to all of you. So with that, until next time, continue to read, treasure, follow the word. God bless, and I'll see you guys soon.